Welcome back to another episode of the Panther Sports Zone. It is Monday, April the 8th. I'm your host, David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
And I'm David Killing.
Good week, boys. Spring Fest is finally
brought the
over.
new suit out of post Spring Fest.
You feel me? Hey, you got to come on the set spot. You feel me?
You know, he got a little patch. He got a completely different Spring Fest. What?
Yeah, Spring Fest was legendary.
You got to put on, what's your area code? What you got to put on for?
513.
There we go.
Hey.
513.
Yeah, shout out 513.
Yeah, shout him out.
Yeah, it's been a good week, not only for us, but for the baseball team. They played Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Houston Victoria and won all three games. Came back from 6-0 deficit against Houston Victoria and won that one 10-9. Like I said, they got some draft prospects on Victoria, but obviously that didn't mean nothing. Then they just carried the momentum against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Won the first game 11-8 and won the second game 4-3. Third game got postponed. Obviously a good weekend for them. Congratulations. They play Incarnate Word tomorrow at Incarnate Word. Then they come back and play Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Wednesday.
Now, we already played Texas A&M Corpus Christi,
Yeah.
right? Did we lose that game?
Yep.
Was it bad?
No, it wasn't bad.
Okay, so, and then is Incarnate Word a good opponent, you would say?
I don't know.
So we're going to have to.
They're not really. I think they're D2.
No, the Incarnate Word is D1.
They're D1?
Yeah,
All right.
they're like in the same. They're in the Southland Conference, so they're with
Okay.
SFA, Sam Houston, those type of teams.
Oh yeah, they should be pretty good then, because Sam Houston's good. SFA's all right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's. But I'm just glad. I guess it took for me, you, and Neville to kill him to
Yeah.
for them to finally, I guess, wake up. But
Yeah.
not just that. It's just as far as for the season, I think they finally found a rotation. You know, he's been doing so many changes. So I guess he finally put his Sunday lineup Friday,
Yeah.
and obviously it's paying off for him. So congratulations to them.
Right, because I always said they just needed to make better adjustments and they'd be fine.
Yeah,
They're
we-
starting to do that.
We said they had some type of talent, which
They
they
probably
do.
heard us from the show. For real.
And they actually did beat Corpus Christi.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
went what 1-1.
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm not pretty sure. I didn't want to
You
lowball
good.
them. I'm just so used to them saying they lost or something.
That's fine. I mean, because they have a lengthy track record of losing,
Yeah.
but as long as they're turning around, we was here defaming them, so now
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna sing their praises because
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
we support everybody here.
We still trying out? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold y'all to that now.
All right. Volleyball signing day was this past week. Also, we got 4 new signees: Melanie Arenas, Miriam Solar, Dinara Goldie,
Yeah,
And
I
Sydney-
just said
yeah.
go away.
and Sydney Miller. Congratulations to them ladies. Obviously, they're stacking on to an already strong team for volleyball.
I'm not gonna
What?
say strong. We definitely needed help. I hope these signings come in at least give us some type of help because this past season wasn't where we wanted it to be. But just congratulations to them. That's a huge thing to be able to sign, whether it's coming from JUCO
Right.
or high school. That's a big feat to accomplish that not many people see. So congratulations to them.
I got it.
All right. I thought you were going to say something.
Nah, I was just supporting that.
Oh, yeah. Also, congratulations to Gary Blackson. He was selected in Dos Equis 3-on-3 National Championship. If you didn't notice, that was on ESPN this past weekend. I actually didn't get a chance to see him play, but I'm pretty sure Gary did well. Gary being Gary, he's on a different mindset this whole year. He also got signed to somebody. I'm not sure who.
We all seen the tweet. We're just
Yeah.
trying to figure out. You know, it athletes like to tweet like
Yeah.
cryptic, but it's definitely congratulations to him for not only making it to the 3-on-3 challenge, but
Right.
doing whatever he's doing.
So who's the 2 other players that got picked with him? Or is they from like PV
It was-
or just a
He,
conference?
I know from the SWAC at least, he got picked number 1 from Texas
TSU,
Southern
Yeah.
and 23 from Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's the kid that they was talking about was supposed to go to the league
Uh-huh.
because he had like an amazing junior year last year. I think those are for sure the 3 kids that I know of from SWAC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. Pretty
Yeah.
big step. It's another way for players to get into the NBA or
Right.
the European League.
It's just to
Right.
continue your career, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a little fun showcase as well.
Right.
And I feel like he thrives in that half-court offense. He's able to get to the basket. It's something where he can showcase his skill set, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go commercial break, remember bowling team is one of the most slept on sports in our school. Unfortunately, they lost to SFA in the NCAA tournament opening round, but always congratulations to you guys one
It was
swag.
still regular season champs.
Yeah.
Right.
Swag,
champ.
postseason
Y'all thing.
champs.
Right.
2 years in a
Y'all
row.
getting, hopefully they get their ring.
Yeah, we need to throw a party for them or something.
For real.
We need a huge celebration because they don't get
Yeah.
talked about enough. Them,
Not enough.
golf, they kind of get swept under the rug.
When we come back, we got some interesting news from the March Madness. No hitters or not even no hitters no more, and spring ball. We'll be right back.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Prairie View A&M University is about the students. Students don't just come here for the education. They come for the faculty, for the creativity, the camaraderie, an excellent standard of living, and the school spirit. They come here to gain something profound and to give something back. Students come for the tradition of excellence. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Welcome back to the Panther Sports Zone. So before we get into NFL, I just wanted to bring up a topic about the MLB. They're still continuing. You know how pitchers are on have a chance to throw a no-hitter during the game, but obviously they're watching their pitch counts, so they're getting pulled like early 6th inning, 5th inning, so that just ruins their chances.
But I understand like the feat of a no-hitter is really something that's important,
Right.
but aren't you worried about like the longevity of your pitcher for the season?
Right.
Because you got to understand how fragile they are anyway. Especially like we're not talking if the pitcher is like young, I want to say like 26, 28, somewhere around there, or even lower. He could throw all day.
Right.
But if he's in his 30s, I'm gonna worry about him. Especially these games don't matter. Like you still have a season. It's still a long stretch between end of May to July where that's the dog days of the season. So we're not even there yet.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna make him throw his arm out. That just shows me he has the potential to do so. And if he's genuinely that, I would say, talented and good at it, it's gonna come around for him.
So for like baseball, when does games really start to matter? Like during what time? Like
When you
what's
said
the-
like to May all the way to July.
to July.
Yeah, that's the like because
July
the world
August.
stops basically. It's just
Yeah.
it's just baseball all season. So that's when they get their double headers, they back triple headers sometimes, and they go all these trips. But those are what really matter. Nobody cares about April. It's opening day, and then
Right.
it's like, okay, we'll leave them alone till NBA season's over.
Right.
Because I heard a lot of pitchers get surgery often throughout, like sometimes throughout the season, because their arm be that tired.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's normal, but I think they should just keep him in there.
Now, granted, if we're in the 7th inning, he didn't strike
Yeah.
all them out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that to him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into him. Like he deserves that feat. But in inning 5, I'm gonna pull him. It's just how it goes.
it's just a smart plan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you already know what he's capable of, I'm gonna just let
Now,
him
if he
go ahead
just
and throw it.
3 up, 3 down,
Yeah.
all 5 innings, like just
I'm gonna let him go.
he got to go. Because that's not that many pitches. So
Yeah,
I got you. But I'm saying in April 8th at that, like we early in April. Like we're not tripping off that, Davis.
All right. Before you get to NFL, you got to go through the what?
College.
College.
Yeah,
Yeah. You confused?
You know, he a little slow.
We just had another spring ball scrimmage here at PV. Obviously, we're about to produce some hopeful NFL draft prospects speaking into existence. What do you see? What did you see from this past weekend?
What I seen with my own eyes was nothing because I was at
Yeah,
work.
but what do you?
But I know, I got you. I'm just messing with you. Honestly, you can see everything that they put in throughout the week coming together. You can obviously see that one, they're getting comfortable with the system. Last year, it was a lot of mistakes just because it's a new system, it's a new tempo. You're playing at a different rate of speed, so you're not used to what was going on. And now I think they're finally starting to get comfortable. Although it's so many new pieces. Like sometimes it'd be like dumbfounding just to see the overturn between when we were done in November to now, it's crazy. But you can see the culture like finally starting to build up, and it's something that I definitely am proud to see. I want to see it continue to grow. You can see certain position groups that have to come together starting to grow.
Right.
As far as the offensive line, the defense is starting to play together. Players that got moved around and starting to, I would say, you can see their vision finally coming into fruition. They was talking all weekend about the scrimmage, post scrimmage, but it was definitely a solid scrimmage.
Who is somebody that's been shining throughout spring ball? A player.
Let's see. Outside of, I would say, Sonny.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know Wanya is going to do good.
Exactly.
It's Jalen is having a great spring. We have they moved Danny to center, so Danny's been playing good. Rod actually got to play. Rod had a slight tear in his pec. He did a couple things on Saturday, so good to him. Although I'm gonna fight him if he tries to play in the spring game. I just want you to know that. I'm saying that on the show. But honestly, and then go to the defensive side. Logan is starting to come back into his own. He caught a little injury bug towards the end of the season, but definitely something. Drake plays good in the back end. Juice is Juice. Juice is definitely one of those prospects that you talk about. Defensive line, I would say maybe Ron C. But it's definitely people coming together. We still need to figure out who's going to be our two in the box. That's something when I was talking about position change. Story Jackson moved from safety to linebacker, probably the best decision of his life. Huge, just straight muscle kid.
Yeah.
He about 6'2", maybe like 225, 230. Moves great. He's stiff to play safety, but perfect for a linebacker. So that's probably the biggest move, I would say. Last spring, QBL moved from receiver to DN.
Right.
And then this spring, you have Story moving from safety to linebacker. That's probably the biggest move of the spring.
And what's his, what year is he?
Story, he redshirted last year, so he's a junior still. He's a redshirt junior now.
Yeah, that'd be really good for him.
Get 2 years under his belt.
Oh,
It used to
yeah.
be nice.
That'd be cool. We could redshirt students.
Well, students technically redshirt.
Yeah.
You know, when they take a little long and then they graduate from
Right.
playing safe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's believed that the top 5 picks are locked in already right now. Kyler Murray obviously going at number 1 to the Cardinals. Nick Bosa to the 49ers. They're trying to see what D Ford will do. Maybe possibly have him on like a 1-year contract if he doesn't produce. You
Okay.
know. Josh Allen to the Jets, or they may trade away the highest bidder.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then Devin White to the Bucks.
Okay.
Linebacker from LSU.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, Kyler's definitely secured at
Yeah.
1. I'm tired of the 49ers picking defensive linemen. They picked DeForest Buckner. They picked Solomon Thomas. Like, they need more help than that. Richard Sherman has 1 Achilles, and we're still, like, he's our number 1 corner. That's a problem.
Right.
We don't have much safety help in the back end. I would say that you don't really have a true number 1 receiver. Marquise Goodwin takes the top off the defense, but who else do you have to have? You need somebody else. So that's my biggest issue with the 49ers pick. Moving along, I'm not so sure that Nick Bosa is the best defensive player. Like, if I'm picking at 2, I want to know that if you're going to take Kyler Murray, who's the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion, I want to know at number 2 you're going to have the best player available, and I don't think Nick Bosa is there. If I'm anything, I'm taking Quentin Williams, or I'm trading out of that pick, because we know everybody's about to rush up this board to get quarterbacks, because it's still teams. Yes, they've traded for Broncos traded for Joe Flacco, but he's not a long-term investment. I would say Nick Foles, he may do good in Jacksonville, he may not. So they still need a quarterback for their future. And these quarterbacks, post Kyler Murray, everybody else really needs to sit down. And even Kyler Murray might need to sit to some extent. But the quarterbacks are definitely going to get driven up the board. Josh Allen, I'm fine with that pick. He's more of he blossomed later in his career, and I don't want him to just be a full-out bust. I don't think so.
Right.
If we're saying anything, I'm going to say Devin White is probably top 3 player within this draft,
For sure.
regardless of position. So I respect that pick at 4. But my biggest question is Nick Bosa at 2. And I want to have that conversation with Tommy Harris, but he didn't get to get on the show. Because to me, it's all about, they say great teams draft best on the board. But I'm just not sold that Nick Bosa is the second best player in this draft.
Yeah. I'm just
I gotta
curious,
see it.
you know, like taking from what you said, I'm just really curious to see how drafting Kyler Murray will affect the overall picture of the Arizona Cardinals, especially dealing with Josh Rosen, who's going into his second year, like, and bringing in a new coach. So, like, do you think they're gonna keep Josh Rosen?
No. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get a second round. I mean, they're trying to get a pick for him. Right now, only people are offering a second round. And the way it goes is, it's not our fault you picked him at 10. Like, that's something you got to deal
Right,
with.
exactly.
Like, I'm not going to give you my 10th overall pick
Yeah.
for him because you think that's a equal investment. It's not. We've seen him on film for a year. We've seen him with a bad offensive line.
Right.
And he pretty much folded. I'm not going to say he's a bust. I don't like that narrative being out there that he's a bust. Because, one, I don't feel like he got a fair chance.
Exactly.
And I definitely don't feel like his head coach got a fair chance.
Exactly.
But he doesn't look like his owner, so he had to get
Right.
out there.
I think they should just let Kyler sit for a little bit of the season, give Josh Rosen another chance, and see how he does, and then make a big decision on that.
See, but
I just don't think he got a fair shot.
yeah, those two, it's never between those two. Those two actually have a relationship. They were in the same recruiting class.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the opening. They were all at all the big camps. So they have a rapport with each other. It's not about them. It's about the fact that the Cardinals hired Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, exactly.
Cliff Kingsbury has been gawking over Kyler Murray ever since he was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
He said if he ever got the chance to take him with the number one pick, he would take him, and boom, it happened. Now, how you move from having a losing record at Tech to being a head coach in the NFL with no prior experience, only God knows.
Yeah.
But it's something that no matter, the writing is on the wall. The writing's been on the wall for Josh Rosen.
Right.
So him building a relationship with Kyler Murray is null and void. It doesn't really matter. They have to get what's best for them because they are a terrible team. So him being there and holding up a roster spot when they could trade him and get more picks or get another player, I feel like that'll help more.
Right. Because they started at off-season conditioning today, and Josh Rosen was the first person to be there. So you see how the man is.
Because
trying to go about
what
his
do we
business.
talk about with Larry? It's about if I have anything negative to say, that's only going to drive your value down. So if he's at a second round pick, and then he doesn't show up to workouts, now he's at a 4th, 5th round pick.
Right.
And if I think I'm a franchise quarterback,
Exactly.
who in their right mind is going to trade a 4th round pick for a franchise quarterback? If I'm trading a 5th round pick, I don't believe that you're a franchise quarterback.
Right.
That's my issue.
I think they're going to split time, like going into the preseason and practices.
Yeah,
and
He's
stuff.
not going to last that long. That's what I'm trying to
That's
tell
He
you.
may. I think he's going to start the regular season off, but towards down the road, Kyler Murray's going to end up
The
starting.
best situation.
If
go
the
ahead.
season goes bad.
The best situation I've seen that happen was saying that Washington trades for Rosen, but Washington sends Case Keenum to him because one that brings a mentor who's older than Rosen. Because I mean, I've been here 7 months. He's been here 2. It's not much I could tell him that's different than what he's doing right now. You get what I'm saying? It's the same concept. Rosen can't teach Kyler to be a pro that much because he hasn't been there that long. Now, Keenum's been on, 5 teams?
Yeah.
He's had productive seasons. He's led a team to almost an
Playoffs.
NFC championship
Right.
game. So he has, so it's like he has the wherewithal to teach him that. So that's the biggest, I would say, draft theory that I've seen that I agree with because, one, it gives Rosen another chance. Because we all, no matter what happens, Alex Smith is probably done playing football.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue is just seeing what happens. Like you said, I want to see how everything shakes out. Because what's going to really shake everything up is if they don't pick Kyler. Then it's like, where is he going? Do the Giants shoot from 6 to 2 to go get him?
They should if that happens. Him and
But what would the
Saquon
Giants give up?
See, you
That's
got to
the
give up an
question.
arm and a leg to go up that high.
You're not going to have all them players on offense still.
Does he make it past 4 with the Raiders?
Who?
Kyler, if he doesn't go 1, is he making it past 4? No. He's not going to make it out top 5.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because going into the season, it was questions around what was going to happen. I mean, we know because we're from Texas,
Yeah.
but that just tells you a year can really change your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The AAFL was recently canceled, but obviously, like you said, it was supposed to be like a
It's a G League,
Yeah,
basically.
like G League
It
for the
gets everybody
NFL.
together.
So first player that got signed was Keith Reeser to the Chiefs for 1 year. Obviously, it's a big step.
It did. I've seen a total of 4 signings, I want to say.
Yeah. I think somewhere from the San Antonio team, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just, in their short span of 7 games, they did what they accomplished.
Yeah.
Was it on the spectrum that they wanted to? No.
Right.
But it gave players a chance to get film,
Right.
to showcase that they're still,
Able to play the game.
yes, they're still in shape. They still know what they're doing. They
Right.
still can play this updated game.
Yeah.
Now, the NFL is either, one, going to start funding this league in order to help it, or they're just going to, they ate it alive like they just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think this is going to end.
It's like the fifth league that the NFL has ate out,
Yeah.
just because they're a monopoly. Like, I want all of this marketing.
Right.
We all got the same type of fans, even though you're at a whole different part of the year that we specifically picked this part of the year
Right.
Yeah.
just because we know y'all season is over and we
Exactly.
want to fill this gap because we know America loves football.
Football.
Right.
Yeah.
But the NFL is so selfish that they're going to do this. It doesn't make sense.
Hopefully one day the league will come back. That league will come back.
Because I think it was the most productive. The thing about the XFL is it's a show. The NFL is a show, but it's under, like the way Larry explained it. He's like, it's under the radar. Like
Yeah.
they make rules for offense. They make it look good, but it's not blatantly in your face. The XFL was trying to be WWE in football pads.
Okay.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it was because
Yeah.
Vince McMahon runs it. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have more money backing it, but
Has anybody considered signing Johnny? Have you heard about?
I would say no. But I wouldn't advise anybody to
Yeah.
sign him.
For
He-
what?
He only had about, like, I would say 20 plays in his
He
game.
didn't even do good.
It was straight.
Yeah.
It's just he's gonna always attract a crowd.
Yeah, 'cause
He's gonna always
Johnny.
be himself.
Right.
I would say the only place that needs to go get him, he needs to go to Tampa Bay just so he can throw it up to Mike
Yeah.
Evans.
Oh, he can come to Cincinnati for real, so he can throw it up to AJ. Please come to Cincinnati so he can throw it to AJ. Please.
That would be the worst thing
Well,
y'all
he'll
did.
take
Nah,
Brett
actually,
Favre.
that'd be good. For real.
But
The
yeah,
and Juju.
AB and Juju. Obviously, there's talks about Juju Smith. What was-
Schuster.
Schuster, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was saying he was the best.
Yeah,
player
he
on
was
the
the
team.
MVP.
MVP of the team.
He got
Yeah.
the team MVP award, right?
Right.
So, we all know AB finds himself getting on these little rants.
Right.
You
Gets
know, on
emotional.
Twitter. He
Right,
likes to
right.
express himself. So a fan is tweeting him, and the first thing he tells a fan is, "Let it go. I'm a
Right.
Raider now. Buy my Raiders jersey."
Right.
So the fan tweets the picture of the the Steelers saying that Juju was the MVP. So he quotes it and it says emotion. The little I can't think of it, but it's two
No.
dots.
Oh,
The 2 dots, not a semicolon. It's the other one. It's a colon.
yeah.
Okay. I'm an English minor, and still didn't know that. But I'm just focused on other things. So anyways, emotion, he does a colon. So then he explains Juju fumbled the game away in the biggest
Right.
game of the season, which he's
Exactly.
not lying.
Right.
Because ultimately when they lost that game, they weren't making it to the
Playoffs. Right.
He said they were more focused about making Juju famous than he was about being productive, which that's wrong because Juju had more yards than him. He didn't
Right,
have more
right.
touchdowns, but it's like Juju produced
Exactly.
He's produced
Phenomenally.
every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
for his first 2
Even
seasons.
his
He's
rookie
definitely
year,
produced.
He went crazy his rookie
Yes,
year.
he went back to back. So for him to say that, it was more. I don't think he was lashing out about Juju. He just said the truth.
Yeah.
Juju definitely lost that game,
Right.
but it's because he's young. He
Yeah.
tried to do more than he should have. He
Should,
should have
right.
just got the first down and got down. But
Yeah.
when you in that moment, you think like, oh, I got to make this play. I
Right.
have to be bigger than this moment. Like I
Right.
have to be, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he can have his issues about him, but it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Right.
Like he's the same one that's on social media all the time. Like he does this and does that.
You're right.
So I can't say he's right. He just said a fact, but he didn't. His whole statement wasn't a fact.
Right.
And for him to take a shot at Juju, who's
Yeah.
somebody that looks up to him,
Exactly.
who
Yeah.
like appreciated his time with him, who
Right.
learned stuff from him, who was like genuinely happy for him, for
Right.
him to throw dirt on his name, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's not cool at all. It's not. Because, I mean, I know the bond that they had was really good, and especially Juju just learning from him. I think that helped him produce better because seeing him, he's going into his 3rd year, but Juju been playing like he's been here for 6 years. You feel me? So I don't think that was right for him to do that at all.
And they worked like great together. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
he was the reason Juju was getting one-on-one coverage, so Juju could get the ball. So it tells you more about his ego more than anything.
Exactly.
And that's that's what we've been
And
talking about
that's
the
a lot of
Steelers
people
for a
said,
year and a
yeah.
half. It's just it's ego. Granted, they fed into this, and he has the right to have this ego because I mean, if he ain't the best,
Right.
he's up there.
Right.
Right.
He's
So
arguing.
I'm not saying nothing is wrong with his mentality, but I'm saying for him to take a shot at somebody who wasn't even shooting at him,
Exactly.
that's not right. Now, if he'd have fired the fan up, I'd have laughed and we'd have left it alone.
Yeah.
But he took a shot at Juju, and that wasn't needed. That
Right.
we don't. I'm not respecting that. I'm not standing on that. And I'm somebody that defends him wholeheartedly, but it's certain things that you can't allow, and that's one of the things.
I agree.
Y'all like the Jets jerseys?
Bro,
Yeah, those
I don't know why
I
they're
like
getting
them.
so killed. Like
They're hard.
the little candy apple helmet, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as the black jerseys, oh,
Them
Those
is
are
crazy.
What?
Yeah, them are
it
nice.
was stupid.
Yeah.
Like the black jerseys, the white jerseys, the greens is just because that's a lot of green, especially
Yeah.
for that shade of green.
Right.
But y'all know me, y'all know like I love accessories. I love like when he wore like Jamal Adams, he had the black
The
bands,
Yeah, exactly.
all of that. Like it was crazy. White Jordan 1, low cleats on, like.
Right.
It's the combinations that I
Yeah.
would do in that uniform is outstanding. And shout out to one of the receivers from his name is PJ. Oh, I'm going blank. He plays for the Washington Redskins. He's from Los Angeles. He has some Nipsey Hussle cleats that he gonna wear this season. He posted them. I tweeted it, but I can't think of his name right now. So I'm gonna need you to look that up for me. But
Yeah, but
I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
back to them jerseys, yeah, they really sweet, and I think it's gonna bring a lot more fans and revenue to the stadium and to the team.
Yeah.
Cause it's like I haven't seen. Nah, they had the what jerseys did they had the Rush? Was those the last?
Yeah, this is all
Oh,
green.
Yeah, the all green.
With the white helmet,
And
but
those was cold.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
It's all about wins, though.
yeah, it
Hopefully
is. Though.
that brings them wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm just ready to see our uniforms next year.
Yeah. Obviously, Auburn got screwed. Lost to Virginia.
They got screwed or they folded.
Nah, they got screwed. Obviously, refs can't see what a
Right, the
double
double
dribble
dribble
is,
is, right.
and no foul. But
So
Virginia,
your lavish run finally came to
Yeah.
an end.
but I still got Texas Tech. They obviously play Virginia. Texas Tech is gonna be Virginia. Play tonight. Who y'all got?
I got
Tech.
Texas Tech. Yes.
Texas Tech, best defense in the land now.
Right, after seeing them do that to Michigan State, it's like I have to give them props because their defense is for real. And they're not only a defensive team, they got players that can step up. Just like you seen Matt Mooney step up for 22 points when they played against Michigan State the other night. That was huge. While Jared Cover was going 3 for 12, from the field. So that was really huge. And I think this game tonight, it'll be a close game. I think so. I think Texas Tech will pull it out, but it's going to be a hard-fought game. So.
Who you got?
I said Tech.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. All right, we'll come back. I mean, the show's over now. We ain't got much. But that's all the time we got, folks. Shout out to my girl, 5 months strong. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
dude.
Wow, you
Yeah, man. I had to throw that
a
out
lover
there.
boy on camera.
But
wow.
yeah, I'm David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
And
And
I'm David Kelly.
And we'll see
since
y'all
we doing
Wednesday.
shout outs, happy birthday, Nick. Happy birthday, Mama A.
Hey, shout out to the Cincy, you feel me? 513.
You feel me? 513. Shout out to Cyril. Shout out to Nigel.
Yeah, in the back.
Thank you, Ms. Dalvez, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
See y'all Wednesday.